Find the volume of the solid generated by revolving the region bounded by this graph, y is equal to 0 and x is equal to 2, about the x-axis. Anytime they ask you to find the volume, you think of timber. So we're going to go straight to the M. M is the method. So I always like to write down the methods that I have available to me. So it's disc, washer, and shell. Which method am I going to use? Well, I look at my information. If I only see that there's only one function of x, then I'm going to use disc. If there were two, then I would do either washer or shell. So once I choose my method, I write the formula down. So at this point, this is not an introduction video, so I'm going to skip some steps. So it's going to be pi and then f of x squared dx. Now, it could be r of x. Same thing. It's just going to be your function that they're giving you. So I always write it in terms of x first, but it could be in terms of y. So I'm going to leave this here. And I'm going to go to the first step, which is the terms. So the terms depend on two things. The axis of rotation, which is the x-axis. So that's going to be, let me switch color here. That's the x-axis. And it also depends on the method that you're using. So I'm using disc. So disc and washer are the same thing. So if you're using disc, that means that my terms here are going to be the same thing as this letter x-axis, so that's going to be everything in terms of x. If it was a y-axis and we're using disc or washer, it's going to be everything in terms of y. If it was the y-axis and we were using shell, it would be the opposite, it would be x. So it's just disc and washer means same, shell means opposite. And remember that if it's anything other than the x-axis or y-axis, remember that the x-axis, if we're saying that's terms of x, what is the x-axis? Remember the x-axis is a horizontal line. So we're saying any horizontal line is in terms of x. So if I tell you that y is equal to 2 is your axis of rotation, y is equal to 2 is here. That's a horizontal line, so it will also be in terms of x. Okay, so remember that. So everything has to be in terms of x. Same letter because of disc and washer. And so that means that the functions or the equations have to be in terms of x, the bounds or the intervals have to be in terms of x, and then we have to have a dx integral. So I'm good here. I already have a dx integral, and my functions, I'm saying that I'm going to have them in terms of x. So that's good, but I have to make sure that my actual function is in terms of x, and it is because the terms are literally x. Or at least this one single term, so that's good. And my bounds also have to be in terms of x. So I need to have two x values. So I already have one, because remember, lines are bounds. So I already have 1, x is equal to 2, but then I have y is equal to 0. That is not in terms of x. I need it to be in terms of x. So what I can do is I could just literally find the equivalent of y is equal to 0. What's the x when y is 0? Well, it's just going to be 0, right, if you solve for x there. So that's going to be 0. So then a is equal to 0 and b is equal to 2, because a is always the smallest value, and b is always going to be your largest value. So then now, when we're doing disc, we don't do this step, because this is just when we have more than one function or more than one equation, we need to figure out which one's on the bottom, which one's on the top, which one's right, which one's left. And that's only when we're dealing with washer or shell. So then we go straight to evaluating the integral. So we have pi of the integral from 0 to 2 of f of x. And what is your f of x? It's going to be your function. So that's going to be x cubed. And remember to square it. Do not forget that, dx. I'm going to go ahead and evaluate this integral right here. So when we go ahead and square that, that's going to be x to the 6 from 0 to 2. And then this is easy to integrate. Plus 1, that becomes 7. Divide by 7, pull out the 1/7. X to the 7th, that's all being multiplied times pi and evaluated from 0 to 2. Fundamental theorem of calculus states that we take what's on the inside, plug the first number in, take what's on the inside, plug the second number in. So this obviously cancels out to be 0. And then we have 2 to the 7th power, and then divided by 7. That's going to be 128 divided by 7, all times pi. And so really your right answer is going to be, your volume is equal to 128 pi over 7.